Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture we're going to look at Route 53 and we're going to start with our simple routing policy. So by now you would have already set up your EC2 instances. Hopefully you've got them in three different regions and you've got 4 different servers, and we are ready to begin. Before we do that, let's just see what simple routing policy is. So if you choose the simple routing policy, you can only have one record with multiple IP addresses. And if you specify multiple values in a record, Route 53 returns all values to the user in a random order. So simple routing policy is the simplest routing policy that is available. You basically have one IP address, or you can have multiple IP addresses. And if you have multiple IP addresses, Route 53 is going to return one of those randomly to your DNS server or to your browser. So here's your user. They make a query to Route 53 for hello-route53gurus.com. Route 53 will then pick a DNS record at random, so it might be 30.0.0.1. And then when the next user comes along, it might choose 30.0.0.2. And that's it. It's really, really simple. The important thing to remember is you can only have one record, and then if you do want multiple addresses in that record, you have to put them in that particular record. So let's move on to the AWS console and have a look at this. Okay, so here I am in the AWS console. I need to go over to Route 53, which of course is going to be under networking and content delivery. And I'm going to click into my hosted zones and I'm going to go to Hello Route 53 Gurus. And in here, all I want to do is create a record set. So I'm going to leave this as blank. So it is our zone apex, or our naked domain name, which just means hello route53.gurus. Hello route53gurus.com will resolve. Going to make the type an A record, and I'm not going to make it an alias. And in here I can set my values. So I will do my TTL as low as possible. My values, I'm going to grab my values from my different tabs that were open. So if I go up here, I can see here's my tab. So 52.207.227.107. Going to copy that over into my value here. Then I'm going to grab the next one, which was, if we just minimize this, you can see web server 2, Northern Virginia. And so I'm just going to hit enter. Don't worry about these HTTPs. We'll go in and clear that up in a second. So here I'm going to add this as a record. And in here, I'm going to go in and add this as a record. So there we go, I've got my 4 IP addresses. I'm just going to go through now and delete these HTTPs so that it is just a flat number. You don't need to put any commas between them, so you can just have the number itself and then a new line. That will make it a new record. So I'm going to go in and just clean this up. Got my last one here, so 18.228.7, and there we go. So the routing policy is simple. My values are in here. I've got my TTL as 1 minute, and it's just added another 1 minute. That's quite annoying, so I'm going to do 60 seconds. And that is it. I'm going to go ahead and hit create. So that has now created it. Now, I want everyone to be super patient. If you go and try and resolve this immediately, you're just going to get a blank page. And then you're going to have to go into your settings. You're going to have to go to your advanced settings. You're going to have to clear your browser history. You're going to have to wait. So I'd give it probably 5 minutes or so for this to take effect. Remember that DNS propagating throughout the world does take a little bit of time. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to wait for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go to hello-route53gurus.com because it is simple routing. Basically, it's going to pick one of these 4 addresses at random, and then it's going to stay on that address. If you keep repetitively refreshing, what's happening is your DNS server has cached that value up in its own cache, and then it's just going to return that same value to you. So you're always going to be stuck on the one server. The way you could test this though is make sure your phone is not on the same network, so it's disconnected from your Wi-Fi network, for example, and then go and visit that on your phone, and you should get a completely different address. So you should get, maybe if you get Northern Virginia Web Server 1, you get Northern Virginia Web Server 2, or you get Sydney, or you get Sao Paulo, or whatever. So just bear that in mind. So I'm just going to pause the video, wait for about 5 minutes, then I'm going to go to hello-route53gurus.com. Okay, so here I am. I'm ready to go to hello-route53gurus.com. And there you go. It's resolved me to Web Server 1 Sao Paulo. And if I hit refresh, I'm hitting refresh like multiple times, I'm always going to get that address. But if I go visit in my phone, I actually get a completely different address. It gets sent over to the Sydney region. So that's how simple routing policy works. It's really, really simple. Remember that you can only have one record with multiple IP addresses. If you specify multiple values in a record, Route 53 is going to return all values. So it might return 30.0.0.1. Then the next user, it might return 30.0.0.2. So that is it for this lecture, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, feel free to move on to the next lecture. Thank you.